Welcome to the EARTHSCAPES webinar event. My name is Ann Boehner. I'm Sales Manager for Visual Impact Imaging. We appreciate your time and your interest to learn how you can provide your clients with a unique design experience. And using a landscape design software is the best way to do that. So today we'll talk about the EARTHSCAPES design program, how it differs from maybe other design programs you've used in the past, and how you can put the EARTHSCAPES program to work immediately for your business. If you have any individuals within your company, within your design office that are not able to join us for today's webinar, send them to our website, which is available at www.visualimpactimaging.com. Our website is full of information about the software, as well as success stories from our customers and videos if you'd like to see the EARTHSCAPES program in action. So certainly check that out. And what are the benefits of using design software? Whether you are a landscape contractor, an independent designer, maybe a retail garden store, landscape design software can improve your business and get more sales. You're going to sell more jobs by showing your customer a visual of your design ideas. They understand it, they get it, the job is sold with the first presentation of that visual, with that photo design. Also, this is going to allow for you to stand out from the competition and offer your clients a unique design service. You'll be able to turn out more designs in a very expedient way by producing the designs on the computer. You'll enhance your design presentation. If you are currently producing your designs by hand, or maybe you have another system, by adding on a visual, a photo design created with the EARTHSCAPES program, it's going to make your design presentation that much more powerful. And using design software, the design software is high-tech tools that every landscape professional can put to work, and you certainly will benefit from it. What our customers say about EARTHSCAPES? Our customers will tell us that the return on the investment with EARTHSCAPES happens within 1 or 2 jobs. EARTHSCAPES is a one-time purchase, so there are no monthly fees, there's no annual renewals. With 1 or 2 jobs, you're going to pay for the system, pay for the software. Also, using the program, don't feel as though you have to have expert skills as a photo editor or graphic skills. Using the program, even as a novice, getting into the software, dragging and dropping a few design ideas onto the screen, it's going to allow for you to produce the designs that sell jobs. So we do encourage you to go to our website, learn more about the testimonials, learn more about what our customers are saying. And to see a quick video.
I love EARTHSCAPES because of professionalism. It's great design. I use it on every job. EARTHSCAPES especially really show the customers the details. That's what I really love about it. I've used all the other design programs, and by far this one surpasses them in every area. I love the landscape too. The 3D designs are really what sells the jobs. That's really what we're looking for. So I would definitely recommend this program to anybody.
So that's Mark with Barger Construction, and he really does share with everyone how the design program can be put to use and how it is a moneymaker and how the EARTHSCAPES program is different, and it's much easier to work with and use than any other design software on the market. So what can you do with the EARTHSCAPES application? We can create photorealistic designs. We can design professional site plans that are to scale, and our site plans are compatible with AutoCAD files. You can prepare your estimates, whether they are generated from that site plan or if you generate an estimate by a manual entry. You have both options. And ultimately, you're going to produce designs, you're going to prepare results that impress your clients and sell jobs. So that's what we're most excited about. You're going to love EARTHSCAPES. You're going to love being able to show your customer the before and the after, providing them with that home and garden TV landscape makeover. When they see that before and after, they get excited, they're involved in the process, and they can't wait to show and tell their neighbors, their family members, their friends, and of course word of mouth is a huge way to market and promote your business. So let's go ahead and dive into the EARTHSCAPES application, and I'll share with you how the system functions. We're first going to work with the photo imaging portion of EARTHSCAPES. With your purchase of EARTHSCAPES, you do receive a full license for Corel Photo Paint as well as Corel Designer. Photo Paint will provide to you the tools, all the professional photo editing tools to produce the most realistic photo design. In view right now, we have an example of a design that was prepared with the EARTHSCAPES program. And I do like to share this example because it shows the diversity of our library. And the library that's included with the EARTHSCAPES program provides to you over 6,000 objects. And this does include your structures, hardscape objects such as patios, fire pits, outdoor kitchens, pavement materials, rocks and stones, water features, garden elements such as containers, benches, bird baths, and of course your plant material. And the plant material ranges from all USDA plant hardiness zones. So we do have plant material to match our northern friends as well as for our landscape professionals in the south. Beginning back to the visuals and what sells a landscape job, showing your customer a before and then an after, and upselling this project. Perhaps they didn't want to add the outdoor kitchen for this phase, or maybe the water feature, but adding it as part of this presentation upsells that original request from your clients. Again, the before and the after. Now obviously this is a new construction site, so it's very easy to drag and drop and create an after design, but that's not necessary. We can start with a landscape project that has existing shrubs. So for this example, the client was requesting to add diversity to their landscape. So our before picture included just a soldier line of boxwoods. The customer wanted to add the diversity with some trees and shrubs and perennials. Take notice in the middle of this image, we did make use and use the clone tool to erase away some of the old landscape material that was already within this photo. But don't feel as you have to start with a clean canvas, because when we do drag and drop the new trees, the new shrubs, the new design elements, many times they're just going to cover up the old. So you can quickly see how you can create a design within 20 or 30 minutes. And this can happen while you're sitting next to the client, or maybe this is a quick design that's produced in your office prior to that first client meeting. Another example that I think is stellar, this is an example that came into us from Atlanta, from one of our customers in Atlanta. This shows a pondless waterfall, pondless water feature. Selling a customer on such a unique design feature, such as that waterfall or the pondless waterfall, it does take some imagination to change this before site to what the designer is sharing in terms of what they will do. Or even by looking at pictures and then looking back at your site, it's hard to really piece everything together and think, how is he going to pull it off? But by showing the before and the after and seeing the changes of how this before site has been transformed with the EARTHSCAPES software, again, you're sold. You get this picture and it's beautiful. I couldn't wait for the landscaper to get this project done. I think it's a great use of the EARTHSCAPES program. So next what we'll do is we'll begin working with the system, really sharing with you how to use the tools, how to create a design with the photo imaging portion of EARTHSCAPES. EARTHSCAPES works out great for both residential as well as commercial job sites. You're going to take a picture of your job site. So you'll take a picture with your camera, perhaps the camera on your phone. You might even have your client snap a few photos and send those to you, or bring those photos into the garden center, into the retail store. We're going to open up this image within the EARTHSCAPES program. If you do have existing plant material, your shrubs, as well as the mailbox, you like to erase away these items, we have what's called the clone tool. We'll first zoom in to the photo, Using our clone tool, you can change your brush shape as well as the size. And I'll choose a solid black square. It's great to choose the shape and the size for the clone brush because it really does accommodate to your project site as well as to your design style. The clone tool is a copy-paste function. Anything that the box sees on the left is being copied and immediately placed into the box on the right. We'll reset our clone. Within the lattice, we'll set our second box in the next bay, and I'll just go up to the full screen, so we'll zoom back out. And carrying this clone tool from left to right, you'll see it's a copy-paste function. Again, it just allows for us to erase away the old landscape very quickly and easily. With our lattice complete, I'll show you how that clone tool works a little bit better. If I set my first box in the window in the upper eave, the second box just adjacent, again, anything that left box crosses over is being copied and immediately placed into the secondary box. If you ever come across a function, a step, an action that you don't like the results, we can use the undo button, and that will reverse the last operation. So don't feel as though you're going to get yourself into a pickle. You can always use the undo button and return right back into the design process. The next step, we're going to mask off an area and add new grass. Using the masking tools, I'll select a freehand mask. This freehand mask allows for me to left click and open up a mask line around the area that I'd like to add the new grass within. With our mask line open, I now go to our textures, and preloaded in the EARTHSCAPES program, ready for you to work with and use are your different textures. These include your grasses, your pavers, your mulches. If you'd like to add your own custom pavers or different types of mulch, maybe river rock or custom crushed stone, you can always click on the load button and load your own. With our grass selected, we'll click OK, and we'll use our fill bucket to fill inside the grass area. The next step is to work with the Visual Impact Library, and within the library we have over 6,000 objects for you to choose from. So this does include your plant material, your hardscapes, your water features. The library is broken up into different catalogs so we can easily locate and search for different items. Once you find a desired item to add to your design, we simply left click and drag onto our photo. Once this item appears on the screen, you have resizing boxes around this object. This allows for you to resize as well as rescale. So if you wanted to make this more of a columnar variety, we can squish our object to the horizontal or stretch it to the vertical, really fitting in to our project site. Again, left click and drag, resize our objects, and you're resizing based upon the scale of your original photo. So I'm just using the letter D on the keyboard to duplicate, and that allows for us to create a foundation planting very easily. We just press the letter D on our keyboard. And as we drag and drop our objects onto the screen, they are sitting in their own independent layers. So if I'd like to add maybe an ornamental grass behind my shrubs, I can right click and select arrange in order and move to back. And you'll notice that my grass now sits right behind that row of shrubs. There's also a more efficient process of using the docker window on the right hand side of the screen where we can move our objects to the forefront of our project as well as push them all the way to the back. The next step will be to mulch in our bed. So we'll go back into our textures. We're going to change the grass texture to a mulch. And using what's called the texture tool, this allows for you to paint on your textures. We can change our brush shape and the size. So I'll use the circle. and this shape has a nice soft edge to it. So we simply paint on. You'll notice that the mulch goes right down to the base layer. So this is a very efficient process to clean up your final designs and to create those beautiful sweeping bed lines that you want to show your customer. Going back into the texture, we'll change our mulch to a patio paver, and we can perform the same action by painting on the paver material. If your company performs a lot of paver installations, maybe you specialize in hardscapes, we do have a tool that I think you'll get a lot of use out of, and it's a slick tool for every landscape professional to use. Within the library, or if you add your own materials, plants or hardscapes to the library, and let's say you have a paver material that's taken straight on. So this is a straight on perspective of a paver, but we want to lay it into the photo. We want to make this paver look like it's been placed or laid into our photograph. Every object in the EARTHSCAPES program can be resized. We can rotate this object, but we can also lay it into perspective. So if we wanted to give this item perspective, we use our perspective tool, and we can position our object as needed. You can use the eraser tool to carve away any curves, to erase away portions of this object so it fits right into your project site. You can also change the color balance, the brightness, contrast to really get the desired color and feel for this particular item. Import the before picture, drag and drop your company logo. You have an outstanding professional design to share with your clients. This design can be saved as a PDF, a JPEG, a bitmap. If you did want to email it back and forth to maybe another designer in your firm or the client for reviews or revisions. In addition to the landscape that's produced, the landscape design that's produced, we also offer a night lighting and holiday lighting component within the EARTHSCAPES program. This is all included with your purchase. Many contractors are getting into the seasonal lighting displays as an added means of income during perhaps the downtime, the winter season. So being able to show your customer what a holiday display will look like, we can drag and drop string lights, icicles, any specialty fixtures or features. If you are working with perhaps a franchise for these elements, you can add your own. So you can customize not only the plant material, the hardscapes, but also the lighting elements. If you strictly just wanted to do a night lighting scene, you can place your cone lights, your up lights, your down lights, change the direction of that cone, the size, the color, and the light intensity for the lighting display. And those professionals that want to add your own plant material and customize the library, what you'll do is you'll take a digital picture of the item. And this could be a plant, it could be hardscape, it could be any sort of design feature, or maybe a collection of plants, a grouping of plants that you like. Take that photo straight on. We'll be working with our masking tools, and we'll mask around this object. Not being very detailed at this particular time, but we create a mask, and we're going to copy that masked area. So we just copy that selected area. Made a duplicate, and the goal is to get rid of the background. On the right hand side of my screen, I'll select background and we'll press delete. Now this is a slick and very efficient tool that you'll have access to. It's called the magic wand. Now the magic wand allows for you to left click as you go, and you'll see that it picks up colors within the photo. So this is picking up color tolerances and selecting those areas that we don't want. So you just begin to left click around your photo, and just with a few clicks we'll use our scissors, cut those areas away, and instantly you have an item that's cut out. We can go back in with our eraser tool and we can make some modifications as needed, just erasing away some of the leftover pixels in the different areas that were left. You can always zoom in as well or we can make our eraser tool a bit larger. So if we wanted to remove these items very quickly, but this is an object that is cut out, we can resize this object. We can duplicate the object. You can change the color balance if you wanted to have more of a green variety. So let's say we wanted to pull out more green. Don't feel as though you have to take 50 different pictures of agave to get the desired color selection. And then this is the fun part. So with our object cut out, I'm just going to pull up our design. You can see that we can add this item immediately onto a project, or you could save it to the library for future use. So we can drag and drop, resize, position, duplicate as needed, and you're creating your custom designs. There's no limits with the EARTHSCAPES program. So this is our photo imaging portion. We're now going to begin our site plan designer, how to create those 2-scaled site plans. We will be working with Corel Designer. Again, you receive a full license for Corel Photo Paint as well as Corel Designer with your purchase of the EARTHSCAPES program. Corel Designer, you choose your page size, you choose your scale. You can import an existing base plan, survey plat, or even Google Map image. And that's what we have displayed here on our screen. You'll see that we have our Google Map image. You could immediately drag and drop your plant symbols on top of this Google Map, or you could retrace. We could retrace foundation lines, property lines, and recreate our plan as needed. Another method is to import an existing base plan or survey plat, and that's what we'll have with our next example. And many times when you import the survey plats, they offer added dimensions that you're not going to need. And time after time I hear landscape professionals saying when they import or when they use a physical plan and a design software, they have to take the time and erase away all those extra lines that they don't need. Well, that's not the case with the EARTHSCAPES program. We have an easier process. It's adding a layer. We'll add a layer equal to adding a piece of tracing paper to your traditional methods. So we add that layer, and that's available on the right-hand side of our screen. We add a new layer. You can label and manage your layers on the right-hand side of your screen. And with that new tracing paper or layer placed on our design, we can now use our line tools. And using our line tools, this allows for us to left click and drag. And you'll see as I drag, I'm creating a line, left click and drag, and we're tracing over property lines, foundation lines. You can change the line color, the thickness, the pattern to distinguish between these different elements. So you can visually see the difference between the objects that appear on your design. We'll turn off that base scan and you'll see that we have a clean page to work off of. The next process is to create the bed lines. Now this is most often the most difficult task to perform using design software. Landscape professionals have found that you just don't have the free-form bed lines. You can't draw smooth curves with landscape design software. Again, not the case with the EARTHSCAPES program. We have a couple different tools for you to work with. One is the B-spline. I left click as I go, and each time I left click, you'll see that it places a control point, places a little sticky point. Once I'm done drawing my lines, I can go back in and double tap on that line, and you'll see that we can pull in, pull out, make changes as needed to our curves, really manipulate those lines as needed. If you are a designer that does not want to lose the freedom that you have with pen and paper, we do have a freehand curve. So this is a tool where you can simply left click and begin to drag and create those freeform lines as needed. The line automatically smooths out for you, generating nice sweeping and smooth curves. To pull up the geometric information of any closed shape, we go to geometric information, and you'll see that we do have the perimeter, the area, as well as a volume that's available for any closed shape. So we have a perimeter, the area, 3 inches of mulch or amendment does provide us with our cubic feet as well as the cubic yards. This information can be sent to our plan so we can have it visually displayed on our final plan, or we could jot this down and add it to our estimate for the final tally. Working with the library and adding plant symbols, you have over 400 plant symbols to work with. None of them have been pre-assigned with a name. So you can choose what you want to represent your hardwoods, your evergreens, your trees, your shrubs, your flowers. They are available both in black and white as well as color, and you can create your designs in black and white or color. There's no separate color module that you have to add on. With our plant symbols, we left click and drag. We place that symbol on our plan, and you can resize as needed. So we can size up or size down. The diameter is given to us at the bottom of our screen. We can also manually type in the diameter for the symbol as needed. To duplicate the symbol, we press D, and your plants can be labeled with callouts, or if you'd like to label with a plant legend. This is up to the designer's discretion. You choose how you want your designs to look. You're not forced into a particular style or format. If you do not have an existing base plan to work with, you can draw your lines in manually. So we'll start new from template. We'll choose either architectural or engineering scale. So I'm just going to go into my scales, and we'll just change from architectural. We have architectural or engineering. We'll just choose a 1 to 10 scale, and I'll click on open. So with our designer page opened, we'll change our units to feet. In the lower right hand corner, you have your title block. This is where you can enter in your company information. You can drag and drop your company logo. You can change this title block or delete it altogether and create your own. Again, this is up to you as a designer to create the designs that best represent you and represent your company. We'll go back out to a full screen. And using our line tool, so as we draw our lines, I left click and begin to drag. You'll see that my footage is given to me at the bottom of the screen, so we have our footage readout. For me to constrain this line so it is a straight edge, I hold the control key, so this constrains my line as a straight edge. You can also manually type in the distance of this line. So if we did want to manually type in the length of this line, using the right hand side of my screen, let's say we wanted a line of exactly 100 feet, I press enter and it automatically adjusts that line length for me. So it's very easy to create your designs whether you import an existing base plan or if you draw your designs manually, drawing in your dimensions. Using our line tools, we continue. Using that line tool, you'll see that we have dynamic guidelines, and these lines provide your 90, your 45, your 180 degree of measure. You also can produce parallel lines with these same dynamic guidelines. To share with you how a final design produced with the EARTHSCAPES program looks, this is a great representation. It really shares the diversity of the plant symbols, the different styles of plant symbols that can be used on a design, as well as the color. Within the EARTHSCAPES program, of course, you have all the color options available on the right hand side of the screen. But check this out, if I left click and I hold, it expands that color palette even farther. So as an artist, again, you're not limited to styles and colors and how you can produce and what your final designs will look like when you're using the EARTHSCAPES program. So we can change the color of our symbols, we can add more of a rendered look, fountain fills, one color fading or changing into another color. We can also add a transparency to our object so we can see understory, and this makes for a very informative and explicit design that not only the installers understand but also our clients will understand. Moving across this design, you'll see that areas have been marked and noted with callouts as well as a legend. A legend has been created for the interpretation of the plant symbols used within this design. The EARTHSCAPES program, if you do take time to associate a name as well as a price to your symbol, each time that symbol is used on a site plan, that information is sent over to our estimator application, and it's preparing for you an estimate as you create your site plan. So we have our item name, the quantity of that item that was used, the price, the tax, and of course a grand total is prepared for you. You can also produce your estimates by a manual entry. So if you don't want to have them attached to a site plan, or if you would just like to create an estimate for your customer just by a manual entry, our estimator works as a spreadsheet. So if you wanted to add additional items or create your own or do a manual entry, we simply just click in the field that we'd like to add an additional item, and you can type your additional line items as needed and make changes to those estimates. While we're within the EARTHSCAPES window, I do want to share with you the library. The library is broken up into different catalogs, and this just makes for finding your objects, your plant materials, that much more simplistic. So broken up into catalogs, we have our architecture and arid plants, our California plants for our landscape professionals on the West Coast. We have groupings, flowers, rocks and stones, water features, shrubs north for our northern contractors, and shrubs south for those folks down in our more temperate or southern regions. And you do have a favorites folder. So if you have 25, 50, 100, it's really limitless to the number of items you can add to this favorites folder. But put your tried and your true, the plants that you know work for your job site, that work for your area. Place those in your favorites folder. You always have quick and easy access to drag and drop them very fast onto a design. We also have a recently used folder. So if you are working with a project, you begin the next project, but perhaps you want to take some of those components of that previously completed project, those items will be temporarily cached or saved within this recently used folder. So again, it's just an efficiency that we're offering to our EARTHSCAPES customer. One last item, if you do want to use your search feature, so we can search for a particular item by common name or by scientific name. You enter in the item name, and of course it pulls up the information as needed. We can drag and drop from this screen right onto our design. Getting back into our presentation, the system requirements for the EARTHSCAPES program. EARTHSCAPES does not require a beefy machine. If you have a computer that's 3-4 years old, it may have Windows XP, it may have Windows Vista, it may have Windows 7. More likely, you're ready to go. You're ready to get the EARTHSCAPES program installed and begin using. If you would like system requirements, they are available on our screen now. You can always go to our website if you would like to share the system requirements, maybe for your IT department or as you're shopping for a new computer. The user benefits with the EARTHSCAPES program. When you purchase EARTHSCAPES, you do receive free technical support. This is available by phone as well as by email. We know landscape professionals, you're not at a desk, you're not behind a computer, you're out in the field, you're running around for your sales meetings. We are there to support you. And give us a call, send us an email message, let us know how we can help you out. Even if you put the software down during your winter months, you're getting back into the system, you just can't recall how to add those mulch beds, give us a call. That's why we're here to help you out. You do receive a license for 2 computers, so you can install the EARTHSCAPES program on a laptop as well as a desktop. And this makes for a mobile use of EARTHSCAPES. So you can take that laptop out to the sales meetings and sell and promote and present your design ideas using the EARTHSCAPES software. We also have a user forum. This is a great place to share information, perhaps put in a request for additional plant items you'd like to see within the library, but also to gain access to our email tips that are sent to you every Monday. All of those tips include screenshots and step-by-step instructions of how to perform a function or a task within the EARTHSCAPES software. They are archived and they are available for you to print from our user forum. And in addition to the EARTHSCAPES program, with your purchase you will receive training materials. This includes a manual as well as a training and reference CD. So these are items that are great resources for you to really learn, become familiar and comfortable with the tools and the functions that the EARTHSCAPES program has to offer. EARTHSCAPES sells for $11.95, and this is a one-time cost. And as you see or heard from our customer stories, the program pays for itself within 1 or 2 jobs. There's no monthly fees, there's no annual renewal. So it's a one-time purchase. You receive the training resources, you have free technical help, and there's a 30-day money-back guarantee with your purchase of the EARTHSCAPES program. Since you are joining us for this webinar event, we do want to share with you a $100 savings. So call into the office to place your order for the EARTHSCAPES program, and we'll get that $100 savings with your purchase of the EARTHSCAPES Complete package. Additional resources as well as services offered by our office. We do offer online training, so if you want to spend an hour or 2 hours with one of our reps learning the system, we do offer remote screen share. So we can see your computer screen, we coach you over the phone, and we walk you through step by step. This is a very efficient way to learn the program, and you'll be up and running after that hour spent with our support technician. In addition, we offer design services. Some of our contractors, they get bombarded with design requests in the spring and they just can't get to them all. Send us over some of those projects. We can help turn over some of those designs for you very quickly. We accept the project site. Provide us with your design ideas and concepts for this project, and we'll send you back a request for the time that it's going to take to produce that job site for you. We also have live chat support. There's a discount on additional software licenses if you do want to outfit more computers within your company. We have on-demand training videos. Now this is a new service that we're offering, but it makes for a great resource center. Let's say it's in the middle of the night and you need to watch a training video on how to add those mulch beds or how to cut out your plants. This is on-demand training videos, which we feel Visual Impact is offering our customers another notch up from the competition in how we support and service you. And in addition, new to be released are our web-based design tools. Now these are tools that you can use for your web-enabled tablets, PCs. It's going to be a great sales tool for you to take out to the job site. So I do appreciate your time joining us for the EARTHSCAPES webinar. Again, my name is Ann Boehner. If you do have any questions about EARTHSCAPES, how to utilize the system within your company, give us a call. We're here to help you out, answer your questions, provide additional insight of how EARTHSCAPES can be used for your business. And we hope today's presentation really shares with you how EARTHSCAPES is a wonderful solution to complement your existing design process, whether you create designs by hand or maybe you're using another design software or you're outsourcing your designs. EARTHSCAPES can complement and enhance your current design process. And above all, we know that this is an invaluable tool for your sales team, and it's offering your clients a unique design service. So we want to thank you for your time joining us for today's webinar. We wish everyone great success this year for the season, and we look forward to working with you. Thanks again for joining us at the EARTHSCAPES webinar.